Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. And guys, we are finally having some beautiful spring weather here in Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania. And I figured this was a good time to take a walk all the way out to the western end of our Nesquehoning campus to give you guys an update with what's been happening with the facility with some work that started in the late winter. Now you can see here we have what is actually a double main line now. This track closest to me is the continuation of the station track, and we'll walk back towards the station as we get into the video. The track outside closest to Route 54, that is our main line. That's been here forever, even before we were. And what you're seeing here is the first switch off that second main line track. And there's only a small segment missing right now before we pick things up over here and head towards our campus. So let's take a walk and I'll show you all the work that's been going on in recent months. Alright, we were just standing down there and you can see better where this track picks up here. It's just a single spur track leading into our campus. But they've got the ties set. And the rails are already spiked down to the ties. They'll come back and ballast this later. Just getting a glance here at all the supplies they need to put the track in place. You can see we've got a load of ballast up ahead. Alright, you can see I'm about halfway between where that switch comes off the main line in Building 1, which is the westernmost building on our campus. We've got our work train here, and almost every Tuesday and Friday the 𝐸𝐴𝐺T has been adding and removing cars from here, keeping the crews supplied with whatever they need to work on this track. And we've got a good supply of ties being piled up here with that new track running right behind them. Now what we're looking at here is just a temporary workspace for the guys where they lay down the rails and build pre-made sections of track that can then be put into position. And getting back to our spur here, you can see that just up ahead things start to get interesting. There's going to be a lot of tracks branching off of this spur, and the first of them you can see just up ahead is going into the middle door of Building 1. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that one's going to be used for. That's something I can find out and add in later videos. Now you can see this track here was spiked down till just before that bucket. And they're still in the process of placing everything here and lining it up. And you're getting a good look here at the frog. We're going to have that one track go into Building 1 as I mentioned, and then another branch off into Building 2. So you can also see where this track's going, which is where I'm walking, that they've cut away the pavement. When we bought the campus, the lot was paved right up to about this line here. But you can see it was still pretty hard-packed gravel going all the way out to the west end. And they've dug out a couple of inches here. From what I understand, all the track around the buildings will eventually be paved in. If you've ever been to Reading Outer Station, you'll know what I mean, where you have the rails, but you have the asphalt on either side of them and in between them, so you can still drive and walk pretty normally in the area. I believe that's what's going to happen here. I don't think they'll do that all the way out to the west end unless we want to add parking for passenger trips. But to be honest, I haven't been involved in any of those discussions yet. We'll see what happens. These plans, like everything, you know, they're always changing. Our needs change, our preferences change. And could end up looking a little different than I'm describing. So we will do another episode at some point when this is all done. Got more supplies over here by the work train. These flat cars are how the rails get delivered. And you can see here, this is most likely the machine that's digging up the asphalt. So there'll have to be another switch, because you see there's actually 2 tracks now leading towards building 2. And this tall door here, this will be just like building 3, where we can get locomotives, passenger cars, really whatever we need inside of the building to work on them. I gotta imagine, since we're putting track here, that door opening will be enlarged. We actually enlarged the openings on building 3 when we ran the track into the east end of there. So there's no reason we can't do the same here. And you can see we're not quite up to the point of running them into the building. Gotta imagine that'll be done next time I show this to you, though. Now, this bulkhead car was just delivered by today's 𝐸𝐴 and that looks to me like the electrical cabinets for the switches. I'm not sure if there's any signals. Not quite my area of expertise, but definitely for something electrical. And this interests me here. This looks like prefabricated foundations. I don't know if we're putting some signals in here, but that's kind of the foundation you'd see for signals. You got some electrical cabinets laying down on that pallet. And this is what's got me wondering about signals, guys. Because this sure looks like it would bolt to those foundations. Let's see if I can get out here this week while the guys are working and ask some questions and caption my own comments and musings at the bottom of the screen when I edit. Probably should have come out here to film earlier, but I have a lot of my own work, and I know when our guys are working, they're pretty busy too. Now, there's nothing to show you here yet. This is between building 2 and building 3. You can see on the side of building 3, we already have signage for track 1 and track 2. And if you guessed that the tracks are going to run from that building into this building, you would be correct. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to put them in. I I don't know how well the camera is showing this, but the parking area has kind of a gully to it. It's running downgrade from building 2 down to about that drain in the middle there, and then it starts to rise up. Well, obviously you don't want that for our tracks, so I gotta imagine when they cut up the asphalt to lay the tracks, they'll then do something to build the road bed up to level it. Okay, I'm on the east side of building 3 now, and you can see where the height of both doors was raised when we put the tracks into here. The door for track number 1 was only raised, hard to say from here, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet. You can see where the tan siding ends. That exposed steel bit above it, that's where it was raised. And on track 2 it had to be raised considerably more, maybe about 4 feet. There's only a few things to talk about with our passenger platform because we had most of this in place by the end of last year. The first trip out of here this year will be a customer appreciation trip for our coal customers, and that'll be in late April. I don't remember the date off the top of my head. And then a few days after that, we're going to have the National Railroad Historical Society's charter trip up to the Vosburg Tunnel from here. And yes, guys, I will be riding on that one. I'm very much looking forward to it. But what I want to show you today is something we did just a few days ago. And that's to install 2 of these cast iron signs. Railroad crossing, danger, look out for trains. And that's because there's this crossing right now that is our only way on and off the main line, so it gets used pretty heavily bringing equipment into building 3. And when people are driving down here or walking, we do want them to be aware of the possibility of a train coming. Now, where did we get these? Well, you might recognize these. We had them up in Pittston at the pedestrian crossing by the wigwags, but we did take them down from Pittston and relocate them here. We have one on this side, and then we have the other over by our ticket booth and gift shop. Now, speaking of that ticket booth and gift shop, we put up a little bit more signage over the winter, and yes, guys, I'm happy to say this was my work. We were finding when passengers arrived here, they almost all asked the same question: where's the ticket office? Where's the gift shop? Most importantly, where's the restrooms? So we put up this sign. It is double-sided. Hopefully people will notice that, and hopefully it'll make things a little bit easier for them. And one thing I want to note that we will be doing soon, I don't know if it'll be in time for the first trip of the year, but it will be sometime early this year, is we're going to paint the concrete platform that same brick red that we use for all of our platforms and boarding areas. And then just coming over here to show you the other cast iron sign. And also, I think these lamps were put in after the last trip of the year. I forgot to mention these. We still need to paint the concrete foundation. That's going to be the same dark green as the lamppost. But I love these lampposts, guys. I love that old style. Very decorative and really fits in well with the old train theme. Alright, guys, and I probably filmed this video in the reverse order of what I should have, because I want to show you our new entrance signs here. If you're coming down Route 54 from the west and heading into our new station, you'll have this sign to guide you. This will direct you to turn left and go over the crossing. And if you're coming off 209 and Nesquehoning onto 54, you'll see the other side of the sign still directing you in across the crossing. And then this is a pretty big campus, guys. I know you know your way around it through my videos a lot better than most passengers. But just in case you get here and you're not sure where to go, we've got another sign here for train ride parking. Unless you want to deliver us something, then we got a different sign for you. But that'll direct you to the parking areas. This first row of parking here is employee parking only. But once you get out by the platform and beyond, there is plenty of parking for visitors. And I should add that unlike Jim Thorpe, our parking here is free. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the spring 2025 update of everything that's going on here at the Nesquehoning campus. And I hope to see you on this platform very soon for one of the rides out of our Nesquehoning Regional Railroad Station. Be sure to check our website for up-to-date trips and ticket availability. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the tracks.